welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news, folks. It's our job to give you some interesting tidbits in world sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so news podcast. A meal for your mind. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And, we've got some topics in sports, entertainment, and odd news. But before we get to the week that was, and we're going to recap, we like to do a little personal bit. So, Mikey, how you doing? What's happening in Costanzo country?
Doing pretty good.
You're repping Spider-Man today, your favorite superhero?
Yep, this is the Miles Morales Spider-Man specifically.
So take that, Peter Parker. Had enough of your crap.
They're different Spider-Men.
Yeah.
They're different Spider-Men. This is very important.
Had enough of your crap, Parker.
Yeah, exactly.
Go home, Mr. Parker.
Whiny little Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Give Miles Morales a chance.
There you go.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity. The Spider-Verse movies, very good, and the video game with Miles Morales is really good too. But that's not what I did recently.
Nope.
Recently, I finished the last season of Sweet Tooth on Netflix. I don't know.
Yeah, you're a fan of that show.
Yeah, I really like it. It's a post-apocalyptic. It's a feel-good post-apocalyptic story about these in the near future. A virus, starts killing off everybody, but new babies born during this period are half animal, half human hybrids.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were mentioning this.
It's really cool. Just this whole little fantastical world that they've developed in this show. And I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but the series really did a good job of cathartically wrapping up a lot of the character storylines and such. I'm trying to stay as vague as possible.
This was a series finale.
This was a series finale, right? So this was the third and final season. So it was really good. It was it's not like a hard-hitting Succession or like super like crazy big budget Game of Thrones kind of show, but it was just a nice feel good post-apocalyptic show. It's a post-apocalyptic show that focused on hope instead of despair.
Hope.
Yeah.
Figured out hope.
Hope.
It sounded a little Obama there. Hope.
You have to have hope.
Hope.
So that's what I did, but my weekend paled in comparison to yours, and I know you have some important stuff to get to.
So this weekend we had the 24-hour game show marathon at LaSalle University's TV studio, and it was a gauntlet. We did 24 game shows in 24 hours. I hosted 6 of the game shows. It was crazy.
Wow.
We did Wheel of Fortune. We did Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, which was fantastic. I think we did a faithful representation of the old show. So if you're a fan of that show, I would recommend go checking that hour of the marathon out on Twitch. I also did Smush. I also did 2-Minute Drill, which was nerve-wracking. That was probably the most serious game show I've ever hosted.
Really?
Because that's like a test of like everyone's general knowledge.
Okay.
Originally it was a sports trivia show, but we made it a general trivia knowledge. But like that was like it's just one poor contestant in a chair, and he's just thrown questions. He's just battered questions at him constantly in 2 minutes. And
That does sound very intense.
it is. So
You were the one doing the battering.
No, it was a panel of 4 people that read the questions, but I have to say whether or not they're correct or not.
Oh, okay.
So that was very important. I had to make sure like correct or like no, it's baseball or something but you also have to keep the clock moving because you don't want them to lose precious time because that's why it's called 2-Minute Drill. They have 2 minutes to finish all the questions. It was a ESPN game show.
Okay.
So we did that.
Very intense.
Yeah. I hosted that. I hosted, I said Smush. I hosted Blockbusters, which is one of my favorite shows as well. And The Floor. We did The Floor with the Corporalese tomato pie floor. We superimposed a green screen on the floor that the contestants were sitting on. And instead of just a regular old floor graphic, we threw in the Corporalese tomato pie. The contestants were battling over tomato pie.
That's a good tomato pie to battle over.
Right. It's worth it. So that was fun. It was just the whole thing was a blast. We raised over $10,000 so far, and our donation prompt is still open, so if you feel like you missed out on it, don't fret. You can still donate at gameshowmarathon.com. We'll probably hit 11,000, so that'll be the third consecutive year that we've hit $11,000 for Child's Play.
That's awesome. And Child's Play is such a great charity, raising money to donate, books, games, fun stuff to kids in hospitals.
Any sort of play material, something to get their minds out of, whatever situation that they're in the hospital.
Yeah.
I really like that charity because it's like, you have your St. Jude's that handles the bills of it, and that's all definitely a worthwhile cause and everything. But like, you almost kind of forget that there's a child there,
Yeah.
and he or she is missing out on their childhood.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's great that this organization is there to come in, provide games and toys and
help the kids stay kids.
Yes, exactly.
Love that. So
that's why it's definitely a charity that, I would, if I could, I would donate as much as I could every year to it. So that was most of my weekend because that was, this was also the first year we had like a dedicated rehearsal day, which I think helped a little bit, because it's tough to do the 24 game shows in 24 hours. Not only just the hosting and getting the game show materials up, but like it's also like a challenge to like. We have to like strike the stage. We have to come up with new camera angles, get the audio equipment. There's so much to go into.
I imagine there's a lot of technical hurdles because every game show is different and requires unique setup and stuff.
Yes. So it really is like a gauntlet marathon because it's just, when we have those breaks, when we end a game show and begin another, behind the scenes, we're working to get everything ready to go for the next game show.
Yeah.
So it really is like this endurance test that we've all signed up for some reason. But it's been a great experience. It just unites all of our love for game shows, our enthusiasm for it, and all for a good cause for Child's Play. And it was just a blast. I wish I could do this every weekend. It's one of those things where I am exhausted as hell on Sunday, and I need basically need 36 hours from Sunday to Monday to properly recover from all the sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it, and I wish I could do it, every weekend if I could. It's just such a positive experience, and so much fun to host with Corey, Bob, and Christian. It's one of those events I circle on the calendar I'm happy about it. When I get the date, whenever it's finalized. So. It's just wonderful. And that's what we did. That's what I did this weekend with that.
Well, that was a full weekend.
Yes. There is one thing I want to mention in terms of TV shows. You finished Sweet Tooth. I finished the Ren Faire, which finish is kind of a big word. It's only 3 episodes. It's only a 3-hour show. That's the only time I had to try a new show this past week.
The 3 free hours that you had.
Yeah, I decided to watch this Ren Faire show on HBO Max, and so Rachel was in. She loves anything Renaissance Fair.
Right.
So the moment this came out, she was like, "I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this." And then I saw the trailer for it, and it said it was like a weird spin-off of Succession, because the story is this dude in Texas who owns one of the largest Renaissance fairs in the country. He's like 85, 86. And he knows that, when you hit that age, you probably don't have much time left.
Yeah, you got to start thinking about a successor.
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole show, is like him being this outrageous character. It is like a weird Succession spinoff. So I was hooked in, and I watched all 3 episodes. So it basically boils down to like a 3-hour documentary. However you want to indulge that, whether it's 3 1-hour sittings or one long 3-hour movie, it's up to you. But yeah, it was very interesting. It was, there's some elements to it that you don't think about in terms of like how transitions happen in terms of not just who's in charge, but also like the actual ownership. I thought that was interesting because you had people that want to take over, but I don't know if they wanted to be owners either. They just kind of wanted to be the GM,
right?
Or the, I don't know, CEO or the leader or whatever the hell they call the grand poobah of these Renaissance fairs.
Right.
Like they wanted to do that, but that doesn't necessarily mean they want to be owners either. you know. So and also you got to have money too. That's another thing
Right.
too. You don't have money, you can't be an owner of a place. You got to be able to buy out the current owner.
Right.
Whereas there are other people that are more business savvy. They want to be owners. You know, it was kind of a weird juxtaposition of how like succession planning is. You know, especially if you have a business that that you're not going to be around for for the long future.
Yeah.
If you will. So I don't know, it was interesting. It was a nice cast of characters as well. You know, like for it being a documentary, they really did get like a crew of like characters and potential successors, to take over. And of course the head guy, I think he goes by King George, if I remember correctly.
Oh my gosh.
he really does. He's a character on his own. He's crazy. Everything with him has a plan. Everything's got to have a plan. It's bizarre.
I feel like a documentary has to have, a documentary like this has to have a good, collection of weird and kind of slightly zany or off-kilter people.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. If you watch it, maybe we'll do a full review on it, but it is...
I definitely want to check it out. I noticed it. I think it was HBO Max, right?
Yes.
Is where it was. Yeah.
Yes.
I saw the thumbnail and kind of like read the synopsis, but I didn't dive too far into it. But now it is squarely on my list.
Yep. So I would recommend checking that out. I think it's just called Ren Faire is the official title. But it's on HBO Max, and it's about 3 hours, so you can knock it out pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
And there you go. That's what we did this weekend. So without further ado, let's get to the news that happened in this past week, and we'll come at you with the topics that revolve around sports for this first part of the show in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yep, sports coming at you in your face here. And, boy, the Phillies, everything has been going swimmingly for the Phillies. They still have, I still think they have I think they still have the best record in the major leagues right now.
Wow.
They are just on a tear. They went to London. They won a game in London. Woo. I don't know, good for them.
That's all the rage nowadays is winning games overseas.
Yeah. Hopefully the Eagles will win away from Philadelphia as well later on this year in Brazil. But yeah, so the Phillies, so far, everything has been going just near perfect with this Philadelphia Phillies team, except for today's news bulletin.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yep, and that was Philadelphia fans across the region as the Phillies suffer their first real challenge this season as star catcher JT Realmuto is going to undergo right knee surgery on a torn meniscus. It's going to be around 4 to 8 weeks of his recovery time, so he's going to miss.
That's a good chunk of time.
He's going to miss, a nice chunk of the playing season here between June, July, and possibly August.
Luckily there is the All-Star break.
There is. That
so
helps.
They get a little bit of relief there.
But catcher is a very tough position to try and fill in when you had an all-star catcher level there.
Yeah.
That's very tough. That is one of those positions you have to think about that they get the ball every pitch just about.
Yep.
That is
absolutely.
That's a crutch position that you need to have shored up.
No matter what is.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Windows.
And Windows Updater agrees.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They are the two positions that touch the ball every single play, regardless of what else happens, pitcher and catcher. And that relationship there between the two of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Is absolutely essential. I imagine it's kind of like a quarterback and a center.
Yeah, right. This would be like the center kind of getting hurt because.
I imagine there's going to be a little bit of a.
It's not the pitcher, because I think the pitcher would be the closest to a quarterback.
Yeah, the catcher would be.
The catcher though is kind of the center.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reversal there.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, no, you need that sort of relationship to be in rhythm with that other person. Because there's sending signals back and forth, and I'm sure he's just familiar with how these guys throw and what to expect and how to position himself. And not saying that the backups don't.
But the first team reps, it's like that situation. You expect to be with Realmuto, and then he's out for now a month or two.
Yeah.
You're going to have a relatively unknown guy that, or not unknown, but relatively,
There's
player
not
that
as
you-
much chemistry
Right.
as there would be with the starter.
correct.
So
I would expect a little bit of a challenge here. I think the win number might finally start to dive down a little bit here.
and this is like the worst time for this to happen too, because you had said
Well-
in previous podcasts that we had our easy portion of the schedule early on in the season.
A lot of the games that the Phillies have faced so far have been mostly easy opponents.
So now it's just about to start ramping up. And
Yeah, I still don't think they've faced like the Dodgers or the Yankees so far yet.
are they going to face? Are they up while he's potentially out in these 4 to 8 weeks?
I believe there's a couple series in there. Yep.
So it's kind of like almost a perfect storm brewing.
Well, it could. Look, the worst case scenario would have been if this happened in August, September.
That's
you don't,
true.
You don't
That's
want to
true.
lose him when you're
Right.
trying to get ready for the postseason run.
Right.
So
If they can weather this storm, though, I think they'll still be okay.
I think so with the lead that they've built up so far, with them currently having the best record in the major leagues. I think they've built themselves a good enough lead here.
At the end of the 4 to 8 weeks, it'll balance out to an above average record.
Yeah. And also, the other teams in our division are hurting too. I mean, the Braves lost their top pitcher and top hitter. They're in a worse spot, I think, than anybody, because they were expected to have another World Series run, and they are looking kind of on the outside in. They're hurting. I don't know if they're going to be able to muster up a run. And the Phillies have just been taking advantage of it. And then the Mets, Marlins, and Nationals just all look dead in the water. They just don't look. They look lifeless.
It's good the Phillies built up that cushion, though,
Yes.
because even though the other teams are struggling, it allows the Phillies now to have a subpar next couple of weeks and still be
if if needed,
right.
you know.
Hopefully they don't. Though.
Hopefully they don't. As a matter of fact, today, as of the recording today, they had an early game today. They won.
Well, there you go.
So maybe
Business as usual.
Maybe it could be the opposite effect. Maybe it could like rally the team. Like, oh, we need to all keep the momentum going.
That does happen.
Yes.
That does happen. I mean, famously, the Eagles won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. You don't need the starters to win major games, hypothetically.
Well, you need them to win the games in the postseason.
Maybe.
Not right now. Right now,
But
you're
the-
fine.
I guess
But
what I'm
postseason,
saying.
you need
I guess
them.
what I'm saying is that crazier things have happened. They might weather the storm and be absolutely fine.
Right? They could. Yeah,
They might not even notice any kind of dip.
that would be ideal.
I expect them to face some kind of dip, but we will see. 4 to 8 weeks is the recovery time. Hopefully closer to 4 than 8.
Yeah.
If it's 8,
hopefully.
that's rough.
Yep. So we shall keep an eye out on that and let you know what happens there. All right. I know you want. How about this? I know you want football news. How about we just hold off a little bit more on football
Okay.
news, just a little bit,
Okay.
and then you'll get a nice chunky football section.
Okay, I like that.
All right. So let me just quickly hit that this weekend is the third major for the golf year. The U.S. Open is this weekend. Of course, I like to give you some odds as to who to expect to be in contention. Of course, we've got Scotty Scheffler. I know he's fresh off of beating a lawsuit in Louisville, but he should be.
So he's going to have somebody else drive him around this time,
Yes,
right?
for the love of God, somebody else drive him to the location.
They seriously couldn't get him a driver? Like,
Please,
the best golfer in the world, and they're like, drive yourself?
please, this weekend, get him a chauffeur, please, for the love of God.
So he's still the favorite, unbelievably.
Yes, and heavy favorite, 3-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, look, other than the whole driving incident, he has still had one of the most impressive 2-month PGA runs we've ever seen.
Or maybe because of the driving incident. Because didn't he finish like top 10, even facing
at
a
the
potential,
at the PGA Championship, he finished 8th, I think, tied for 8th.
potentially facing a felony?
Yeah, and he was fine. Yeah,
And he's like, I'll still come top 10, no problem.
finished with 500K. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it was because of that the bookies are like, you know what? There's really nothing that can derail this guy.
Nothing can stop this guy. He had a felony charge looming, and he still did well. Yeah, that's true.
So 3-1. That's
Yep.
pretty good.
Then we've got Xander Schauffele, the eventual winner of the PGA Championship last month. He's at 11-1, so he's
Well, that's a big drop off, right?
it is. I mean,
That's really
for
big.
him just winning the major, he usually that's usually that's the favorite.
Right. And between the favorite and the second favorite, that's a
huge gap.
Yeah.
3-1 and 11-1.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Scheffler is a full-blown heavy favorite in this.
Jeez.
Yep. Then we've got Rory McIlroy at 12-1, Colin Morikawa at 14-1, Bryson DeChambeau at 20-1, Victor Hovland 20-1, Brooks Koepka at 20-1. Boy, I wonder if Brooks Koepka is angry at that. Him and DeChambeau are on the same level.
Yeah.
I still love that clip. I should get it highlighted for our video podcast. But I've shown you that clip. The one where he's given the interview and DeChambeau walks behind his shot and he clearly sees him. He just has this biggest eye roll.
They hate each other.
Effer.
They hate each other so much, but it's I don't know why, but I love it so much. I feel like golf needs more attitude, you know?
This should be they should
pair them up.
Yes, they should purposely pair them together. And they should have some sort of side bet going on because even Vegas says they are on the same level. They are both at 20-1.
I want to see golf reality TV. I want producers whispering in their ear. Oh, did you hear what he just said about you? Get some fights going. Yeah.
We just had the biggest eye roll from Brooks Koepka. Because that's another thing too. Is Brooks Koepka cannot hide. He has that expressive face that when things are going wrong, they're just going wrong. He just doesn't care.
I do love that clip though.
Yeah,
that you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah, with the eye roll. Yeah, it's great. Look that up.
Just
if
the other
if you're
guy's
bored.
presence in his vicinity just
causes him this massive eye roll of disgust. Yeah, it's great.
Love it.
Look that up if you get a chance. And then at that point, everybody else is more than 25-1. Another big headline going into this is another favorite, Jon Rahm, who won the 2021 U.S. Open and has won other majors as well in the past couple of years. He is out. He has, quote, an infection of the toe.
Oh.
Which that's not good for walking the course, so he's pulled out.
You got to walk, and you got to you're twisting and you're planting, and it sounds rough.
Yeah, so he's usually not heavy, definitely not to the degree of Scheffler, but he's usually in there when we talk about these lists. He's usually in there in your top 10, top 15 golfers expected to contend and win.
Yeah,
he's usually on there at 8, 9, 10th odds.
Right.
So for him to pull out, that is a big shift
a chance for some of those
payout.
A chance for some of those outside the top 10 guys to maybe make a jump.
Right. It could be a situation where maybe we hear an unknown on this one.
Yeah.
This is the U.S. Open. There is more kind of
it's open.
It's literally open. Yeah.
Anything could happen.
There's more amateurs on this one, so you never know. This could be.
What is this, amateur hour? I don't want amateurs. I want professionals.
Well, but I think that's the fun sometimes. Sometimes you get an amateur and you're like, who the hell is this guy? And he's, you're like, oh, come on, take down this guy.
I'm just messing.
Yeah.
I think it is fun to see the amateurs.
Yep. And for those that are curious, Tiger Woods is going to play.
No, he's not. I mean, he'll be present. Maybe in spirit.
No, I mean, he is supposed to be, he has declared he's going to be at this one.
Okay.
But Vegas does not believe him at all. He is a long shot at 300-1.
That's what I said.
Wow.
You said he's going to be there. I said, no, he's not. And Vegas is like, no, we agree with Michael.
That is
300-1.
That's really low.
Is he dead last?
No, Phil Mickelson's at 350-1. He's
okay.
Phil Mickelson is also past 53 now, so I mean his window's kind of getting down. It's definitely closing.
His is closed, and Tiger Woods is just open.
Tiger Woods, you can still maybe get a nice breath of fresh air,
but just a single.
Phil Mickelson is it's there.
He's about to latch the window.
Yeah, the latch is right. The latch is about to come out.
Yeah.
In terms of him winning a major, he's done. I mean, he'll still compete, That's all, they just love to show up.
Tiger Woods and Mickelson, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, I think so at this rate. Especially with those odds.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
No.
I mean, but hey, maybe do what you do. I always say, throw $1 on it. Why not? See what happens.
Look, it's just $1.
Yeah.
I've spent way more than $1 on dumber things.
Yeah, right? Might hit. You never know.
You never know.
But Probably not. Not with those odds.
You spread it around. You see those guys like the roulette wheel, where they're putting like a chip here and a chip here and a chip there and a chip here, and I'm like, it's not rocket science. It's literally random.
No, it's mojo, Mike.
Apparently.
I got to figure this out.
But you should do that with the golfers. $1 here, $1 there, $1 here,
All right. Well, that is this weekend. U.S. Open, the third major of the golf year. Looking forward to it. Just love all that. There's just something about the major golf tournaments. It's just that's like the increased heightened sense, the increased competition. That's the one everybody comes out for.
You always liken them to like championship, like a Super Bowl, but there's like 4 of them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So you get more Super Bowls. That's not bad.
Yeah, actually, you should be in favor of this. It would be like if we held 4 Super Bowls throughout the year.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, there you go. Take that to Roger Goodell.
4 Super Bowls.
Take that. All right. Well, speaking of football, Mike wants to get the football news. So let's go into football news.
It's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
All right, Mike, what football news do we have, even though it's June?
Well, as you know, there's never the football season is continuous. It's the non-playing season.
Yep, that's what Roger Goodell says.
Which means
it's
that
the non-playing season.
Which means there's plenty of controversial headlines to keep us busy. This one comes to us courtesy of Mike Florio. He says that some defensive-minded head coaches are beginning to question the value of kickoffs, telling their kickers to kick out the back of the end zone or play for a touchback versus having to deal with the new kickoff rules and formation that will be debuting this season.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So the quote-unquote penalty for this is that the offense starts the ball at the 30-yard line.
Right.
And the logic is that the defensive teams, these defensive head coaches, they believe in their defenses more than their special teams. So their logic is, go ahead, start the ball at the 30. See what we care.
I absolutely hate this mindset because it just shows a complete unwillingness to engage with this new strategic element, because I think there could be some strategy to the new kickoff formations.
Well, I mean, isn't this a strategy in and of itself, though? I mean, if you think... So here's the thing.
Is it a strategy to do nothing?
This requires you to believe that your defense is a top 5-10 defense. Like, you really got to have faith in your defense.
I hate to break it to them, but 27 defenses are not.
Right, exactly. So you better be one of those correct defenses if you're going to play the game like this.
Here's my problem with this. My problem with this is a few things. One, defense in the NFL is becoming more and more difficult, and offenses have been playing out of their minds recently. You give those guys an extra 10 yards, that changes how they approach things. You know? You're actually making it harder for yourself. The other thing that bothers me is that there's a very simple aspect to the rule that they're just completely ignoring, in that if the ball lands in the landing zone and then goes into the end zone, it either has to be downed or returned. If it's downed at that point, it's at the 20-yard line. So you're sacrificing 10 yards because you don't feel like engaging with the rule or the formation. It's just the epitome of laziness. You're like, oh, we'll just give them 10. We'll just give them 10 yards. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? This is football. It's a game of inches. You're going to give them 10 yards? That pisses me off. For a defensive-minded coach to just sacrifice 10 yards because he doesn't want to tell the kicker, aim for the 5 instead of the end zone, that's lazy football. That's stubborn football.
Yeah. I wish Mike Florio would have gotten the names of which
It's
coaches.
Tomlin, because he's an idiot. I'm going to say it right now. It's Mike Tomlin. There's no other coach that I can think of that would be like, yeah, sure, give him 10 yards. It's absolutely 100% Mike Tomlin.
So wow,
I know for a fact it's Mike Tomlin.
You're swinging the hammer right now. So you don't like Mike Tomlin right now? Has he gone down now?
He's the new Jeff Fisher.
Oh,
He's the new. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing.
Okay, so
They
he's
always
made
said-
playoffs.
No,
He's
no,
made
no.
playoffs.
So they keep saying he's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
But the last 3 seasons are like 9-8. Like it's
Right.
just like barely eking by.
Yeah, and we can't sit here and pretend like the Pittsburgh Steelers have been good the past. When's the last time they won a Super Bowl? It was like a decade ago.
Yeah, it was with Big Ben. And
Yeah.
and I think it was like his
During-
first contract.
During his sexual assault days. So,
Yes.
you know, like that was a long time ago. Mike Tomlin has been relevant since like the early 2010s.
So
It's time to like, and he strikes.
and he just got a 3-year contract extension.
yeah.
So
He just strikes me as a coach that wouldn't want to try absolutely anything new or different.
So the Steelers apparently don't listen to you, Mike, because they just signed
Apparently,
him to a contract extension.
I mean, I'm just joking about Mike Tomlin. I don't know if it is, but I have a hunch that it probably is.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing.
there's not many defensive-minded coaches in general,
Right.
and he's one of the bigger ones.
Right. Mike Florio only mentioned that defensive-minded head coaches are looking into this,
Right.
which is very vague because that could be
It's very vague, but
Tomlin. I guess the New England head coach.
it's
'cause
also Tomlin, New England,
he was a linebackers coach.
Gerard Mayo, yeah.
Gerard Mayo, yeah.
Oh my gosh, who the heck is the guy? Baltimore.
John Harbaugh.
John
Yeah,
Harbaugh.
that could be another one.
He kind of, and defensive-minded guys are very stubborn. Like that's their whole MO.
They're very conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. And outside of Bill Belichick, there really hasn't been, to my knowledge,
Is it just everybody in the AFC North?
I think it's just everybody in the AFC North.
That would be funny if Mike
But, like,
Florio just came out. Everybody in the AFC North doesn't like
But
this.
the league and the game is trending towards offense. So I feel like we're heading into an era where defensive-minded guys are going to, struggle. I mean, look at like the most recent Super Bowls. They're all like Andy Reid's and the guy out there in San Fran and Philadelphia.
Kyle Shanahan.
They're all offensive guys. I know defense wins championships, but when? I mean, but when?
That was good, but when?
Yeah, I mean, like you're like defense wins championships. Okay, maybe in 1990.
Yeah, this is a whole different ballgame.
And the
now.
Eagles had a great defense when they went to the Super Bowl, but we saw 77 points scored in that Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
Bill Belichick was a defensive-minded guy.
And the Super Bowl the Eagles won. That was
Yeah.
what, 41-33?
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, there was
Oh,
another. Yeah, but
yeah.
even the one that we lost recently,
Yeah, I thought you were talking about that one. That
that
was
was-
odd. That was 70 some
That
points.
was another 70-some points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, when is defense winning championships?
not recently, as you've pointed out, very good.
So I don't know. I think that I'm a little frustrated.
I want to know which head coaches it is.
I want to
wanna
know which guy is right because
Yeah.
I just can't. I mean, can you imagine you're like a professional athlete at the peak of your field and industry and your chosen profession, and the coach is like, we're not going to try. I'd be sitting like, what do you mean we're not going to try? Because that's how that comes off to me.
I feel like that anybody that does that is on the verge of being the Chargers that
Yeah.
one year that they had the best offense and the
Yep.
best defense, but
Yep.
they still only went 9-7 and missed out on the playoffs because their special teams lost so many games.
You have to engage on all fronts.
Special teams is a part of the game.
It's special.
You can't ignore it.
It's special.
Literally special.
Yeah.
It's in the name, special.
But I mean, what do you think here? What do you make of this?
I mean,
Because it seemed like at first you were kind of like on the side of the defensive coaches.
I mean, look, if this is how they want to coach their teams and how they want to play the rule, then
Sure, it's up to them.
go ahead, and we'll see. This is going to be a weird, like, first couple weeks of the season because we've never seen anything like this before.
Oh, it's going to be bizarre.
Yeah.
And there's going to be like weird flags and weird penalties and players. There's going to be like 14 guys on the field and 9 on the other side. It's going to be anarchy.
Yeah, so there needs to be kind of this weird buffer that needs to happen so that we learn how exactly this flows, what are the strategies to it, what works in real life and what doesn't. What works in practice does not work in real games, such and such,
Right.
Stuff like that. So I think we need to have that buffer zone first, but this does seem very questionable to just tell your kicker, screw it.
I mean, it does seem questionable. And I think that they're really sacrificing a chance for some key strategic elements. Like, I could see like more squib kicks, like more use of a squib kick, because if it hits the landing zone, then anybody can touch the ball. And I mean, could you imagine like the chaos on the kick on the receiving team if the ball like squibs into the landing zone? Then all of a sudden all 11 guys are like who's going to go for it. Everybody just starts scrambling. Might give the coverage team an advantage.
So if they do a squib kick, does the ball have to land?
I think it has to land in the landing zone, but everybody's so close now.
Yeah. So what happens if it just bounces off of a player? Whoops.
Well, it has to be fielded then. But here's the thing: because the coverage team is so close, they're only 5 yards away. Like, there's some strategy there that they're missing out on.
Yeah, so it's going to be weird. The first couple weeks of this season is going to be completely brand new. It's going to be stuff we haven't seen before.
I think it's going to be exciting. I'm actually really eager to see what it all looks like.
All right, well, keep that in mind as the season is starting to come around. It's not that far out. And here's how you know some teams have mandatory minicamp already this week. And one such team is the New York Football Jets. And they are already having some drama issues.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Boy, I think they wish they had Herm Edwards right now
because these guys are not playing to win the game.
No.
2 guys in particular are absent from mandatory minicamp for the New York Jets.
Not just absent, but the Jets have listed that they are unexcused, which
carries a fine.
That's bizarre to me.
That labeling carries a fine.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me. Like, even if you want to, even if they are unexcused absences, these are the star players. Wouldn't you want to kind of hush that under the rug?
I guess you can't really hush it under the rug because people will notice.
I don't know. Say something. Say, I don't know, they had a family. I don't know, something. Make up any excuse. Holy crap.
I mean, something probably would have been better than what they did, because what they did was pretty much nothing, except for acknowledge the fact that both their main guy, quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and their main offseason acquisition, defensive end Hassan Reddick, are both unexcused absences. They did say that Rodgers provided advance notice that he
that means. But it's advanced, but it's unexcused.
But that
doesn't make any sense.
And what's his name? Saleh. What's the coach's name?
Robert Saleh. Yeah.
Robert Saleh. He said that there was some kind of event or something that Rodgers said he wanted to go to, so he said that he wasn't going to be there.
What was it? RFK Jr.'s campaign ceremony?
Probably. That's the thing. I don't trust when the coach is like, Rodgers had an event, because he's either hiding in a cave or he's in some weird RFK, there's or hosting Jeopardy. There's nothing that would
be reasonable.
Right. And it's mandatory minicamp. It's not like a surprise meeting. No, it's scheduled.
Yeah.
For months.
Yeah.
But Hassan Reddick is the big problem here, though. Hassan Reddick,
I understand. He's doing it as a holdout. He wants a new contract.
He is, but this is why it's the problem, because they traded for him. You're supposed to have a contract in place when you make a deal like that. You don't bring a guy in and be like, "Oh, we'll figure it out later."
Yeah,
we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, we'll get around to it.
So he's 29. He wants top defensive end money, which is why the Eagles did not retain him. He's already sacrificed a $250,000 workout bonus, but do you think this holdout is going to prove fruitful for him?
I declare bankruptcy!
So I guess that's a no.
I mean, I don't know. Again, you said,
he's due $14 million, but it's not guaranteed.
But like you said, the Jets went out of their way to trade for him.
They did.
You would think that if you're getting this player, you would know, hey, he wants another contract. He wants his.
It was very, very well known across the league, even casual fans, that Hassan Reddick wanted a new deal.
Yeah.
And the Jets are like, we got you. Don't worry.
And then
they trade for him, and then nothing.
Yep. For nothing so far.
For months.
Yeah.
That's insane. Such bad management.
The Jets behind the scenes were like, oh shoot, we forgot to get him a contract.
Oh no, that's right. They need contracts.
We totally forgot our jobs.
I think
for the last 2 months,
basically, everybody still thinks that the Jets. I don't know. I honestly, I bought the Jets more with their crappy quarterback than I do with whatever's happening right now. I feel like this does not bode well for them.
Yeah.
The fact they can't get their star players, like their star offensive guy and their star defensive guy, to like actually show up
yeah.
and do the football thing.
the thing you're paid to do.
Is that not a little concerning, or am I just being alarmist?
No, I think so too. So the Hassan Reddick thing I think is more in the playbook of things that we've seen with holdouts and contract disputes.
Yeah.
It's still weird that the Jets didn't get him a
Does
contract.
not create a good environment or relationship with those guys, though.
Yeah, that's still bizarre to me. But other than that, that makes sense for Hassan Reddick to hold out. But Aaron Rodgers, like, yo, this is your last chance.
You're the
probably.
face of the team.
He's 40, right? He's 40 now.
Oh, he's over 40.
41.
Let me check.
Like, this is probably his last chance to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, he's just 40.
Just 40. All right. This is his last chance to do some damage and make a run at the title.
Yeah.
And the way the Jets have framed this is like there was notice, but we still didn't like it, so it's unexcused. Like, it just looks bad.
It looks bad. It doesn't make any sense. And I still don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make a difference on that team. He's only ever played for one team in his career.
Yeah.
And he had
last year doesn't count. He only played
last year
4
doesn't count.
snaps.
He had carte blanche there at his previous team. He comes here, gets injured at 40, a bad injury.
Yep.
So
4 snaps.
4 snaps. He's never played meaningful football for this new offense that he has to learn at 40, recovering from an injury at 40. I don't know. Young guys have a hard time changing offenses. Young guys have a hard time coming back from Achilles. He's old and almost ran for politics.
Yes, he was.
He's clearly not in it, and he's just making money at this point.
Yeah, because the Jets are desperate.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. I think it's going to be a rough go for the Jets.
Right now, quick response. Who is
Yeah.
the favorite in the AFC East?
Oh, no one.
Just no one.
It's
they
by
all forfeit.
No, I mean by default, I think I know you're going to disagree with me, but I'm going to say the Dolphins because the Bills also don't know what they're doing.
That's fair.
But I would say it's a toss-up between the Dolphins and the Bills. But yeah, the Bills losing their one offensive weapon, like I don't know what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, losing Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, what is
Josh Allen? Just everything is for Josh Allen.
Just snapping the ball. They're like, do a thing. And he's like, okay, I guess.
Sean McDermott, is he one of the defensive head coaches?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because Sean McDermott does not care about offense. Probably doesn't care about special teams either. You're absolutely right. They're going to snap the ball to Josh Allen and be like, do a thing.
Do the thing.
Goes to the kicker and he's like, just, kick. Do a kicking thing. Make the ball go. Like, that is how he coaches every other aspect of football other than the defense.
Oh my gosh, you're probably right. He's probably one of those coaches
He probably is.
He
probably is.
Mike Florio's talking about.
And the Bills are going to suffer because of it, because Josh Allen doesn't have anybody to throw to, and they don't know how to kick.
All right. And for those that are curious on DraftKings, it's a tight race, actually.
Dolphins and Bills?
Bills are at 17-10. This is really tight. Wow. This is surprising. Bills at 17-10, Jets 19-10,
Really?
Dolphins 2-1, and then the Patriots at 25-1.
It was close to a point.
Yeah. So it's close to a point. Unfortunately, if you're a Patriots fan, you're not in this.
But they put the Jets. See, I don't see it. Am I missing something?
What, with the Jets?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have like
They're literally like Rodgers. That's it.
Well, no, they have some building blocks. Like they have a good. They
The
have
defense is phenomenal.
their defense is very good. They went into the draft and retooled the offensive line to a degree.
Okay.
So they should have a better offensive line, and they've got the running back Breece Hall.
Oh,
So
that's true. That's true.
They got some things to tinker with, but I mean,
Am I letting my annoyance at Aaron Rodgers cloud my judgment?
to a little bit? But
Ugh.
I think some of it is warranted. I think
Yeah.
a lot of it does hinge on Rodgers. If Rodgers gets hurt, this is a 7-10 team. Sorry.
Yeah. Even if he stays healthy, I don't think they're not going to be like 13-4.
No. but maybe they'll be more like 11-6, contend to win the division.
Do you think the Eagles are going to win 10 games? Do you think the Jets are going to win 11?
Well, I mean, if everything goes well, I think that's like the ceiling. I think that's like if everything goes well, Aaron Rodgers plays a decent season, nobody gets hurt.
Well, no, I got to ask, what do you think the Eagles' ceiling is? If you're giving the Jets 11.
So if everything with the Eagles goes right according to plan, the Eagles, I mean, they could be
That's a 14, like a 13, 14.
I mean,
if everything goes right.
Right. This is the ceiling we're talking about. So I'd say like 13-4.
Okay.
I think that would be like everything goes right. Jalen Hurts rebounds. The defense is great. Vic Fangio has the greatest defense ever. Stuff like that.
Okay. All right. That makes you feel a little bit better.
Right.
Because you had the Eagles pegged at 10, and you're like, the Jets going to win 11. I'm like, we're talking ceilings.
Right.
We're talking
when I insert the word could, that's like ceiling. That's like everything is hunky-dory and everything goes well. No.
You put the cheat codes in on Madden.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. When I have the emphasis on could, it's a big
could.
Right, big could. Because that's everything has to go right and nobody gets hurt and everybody's sunshine and rainbows. So anyway, there you go. Looking forward to the NFL season. Mike, I know Mikey's looking forward to it. He's getting all the drama, hearing about all the drama, getting it all ready. Because it is the
best part.
It is the non-playing season, not the off season. The non-playing season. That's what Roger Goodell has indicated that this says.
The NFL knows what I want.
Yeah, and they want drama.
Yeah,
we want drama. We want rule changes, and we want to know the coaches that are too lazy to do the rule changes.
That's right.
There you go. And that will wrap up the Sports Sampler for right now, but don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree coming up and the non-fortune cookie odd news as well when we return from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
that clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the hell?
I don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you
Jeff
into?
Bezos, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bell.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder. I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered. Cheetos.
That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We are done the sports sampler. A lot of sports news that we got to there in this non-playing NFL season. I know Mikey loves that.
I do. I do.
The NFL hype machine keeps rolling. But we also have golf news, so I can't complain. So
That's
yay.
true. That's true. And a little bit of baseball. We covered a variety of topics.
Yep. All right, but let's get into another topic that we can all agree is very entertaining, if you will, because it is time for the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, entertainment entree has been activated. And to kick it off, we started off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with new media properties in TV, video games, and movies with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
All right, well, first up in movies, Inside Out 2 hits theaters this week. It's the sequel to one of Pixar's most creative and moving original films, and the story picks up basically right where the last one left off, with main character Riley and her emotions entering her teenage years. That means a lot of new emotions. So in addition to the standard joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust, Riley has to deal with new emotions like anxiety, envy, boredom, and embarrassment that come along with the dreaded puberty. I love Inside Out. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. I think one of the most creative and powerful movies as well, imagining what it's like inside the mind and if emotions were characters and how everything kind of worked. So I'm excited to see how they take on the teenage years and introduce these new emotions and what that means. Thought the first movie was brilliant. I'm expecting the second one to be just as good. So definitely go check that out in theaters this week. And in TV, we have a really big week in TV. First, The Boys comes back to Amazon Prime for Season 4.
Ooh.
And Rich, just for you, this season introduces Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes,
as a character.
I love JDM.
Yeah. The Boys is fantastic. It takes the premise of superheroes. If they were real, they'd be like celebrities, but what happens if underneath all of the glitz and glamour, they were actually massive jerks?
Yeah.
And, you know, without spoiling anything, but not maybe the heroes we think they are.
Yep. I've heard that if you watched the Gen X spin-off,
watch that.
I heard there are some references to it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I might have to go watch Gen X first before checking out the new season.
Yeah, that was I think it was like the teen coming-of-age spin-off series. Yeah, I got to check that out. But
I wonder if there's some sort of merging that happens. Because
that would be pretty cool.
I've heard there are some ties.
That would be pretty cool. I love The Boys. Can't wait to see how this season goes. This is the penultimate season. They announced that it will be ending after season 5.
Well, that's good. Then at least they know they have like an ending to the storyline.
I like when shows have an end point because it gives them a goal to strive for instead of just stringing viewers along.
Right.
Hopefully this next one also has an end point because the first one didn't. House of the Dragon returns to HBO this Sunday at 9 p.m. for its second season. The first season was everything that you love about those first seasons of Game of Thrones. It has the political intrigue, the backstabbing, the intense character drama, and of course, lots and lots of dragons. They are saying that there's going to be even more dragons in this one. And
we're going to dragon it up.
Dragging it up. But crucially for a lot of fans, they won't be having as many major time jumps this time around. The first season had big time jumps from characters were kids to teens, and then from teens again to adults. So this is more streamlined as we're gearing up for war between the two factions of the major political family in Westeros, the Targaryens. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't get enough Game of Thrones. I still love it after all these years. Season 8 notwithstanding of the original, but House of the Dragon has gotten off to a very, very good start with Season 1, and I'm hoping it continues with Season 2. That's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. And hey, any TV show could be improved with the likes of Negan himself, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
It's such a weird clip.
I know you.
It's so good.
I know you love that clip as well as this
down
one.
There.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yep, there you go.
That's the best one.
Yeah. So there you go.
I think everybody should make that part of their everyday lexicon.
Yep. What tickles your balls today? That should be a greeting.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Well, something's been tickling our balls recently, and that's the video game Talos Principle 2.
Holy crap! You are creepy as shit.
Good job, Mike.
No problem. Rich, the Talos Principle 2, we both finally finished the game. After a long, long time, I had to wait quite some time to wrap it up, but I finally...
You got the actual physical
I got
version,
the physical
right?
edition. I didn't even know they made physical editions of games anymore, but they do.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got mine much later than everyone else, but I eventually finished it. And I figured we should just have a little talk about it since it's a game we both enjoy and have played to completion.
Should this be spoiler territory?
Yeah, let's go full spoiler.
All right, then let me officially get the spoiler warning going.
It's a spoiler! Ooh, it's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
So there you go. I love our spoiler sounder.
It's the best. Something else that was the best, though, the Talos Principle. This has become quite the fantastic little franchise here between the first game and the second game. It's a unique blend of like puzzle game and then also weirdly philosophy for some reason.
Why not?
But I think that it largely works. What did you think about the sequel here, Talos Principle 2? Like, what did you like? What didn't you like?
I will say Talos Principle 2, I think, did the job of what you want a sequel to do, where it had enough of the original elements from the first game, but then it was able to expand the lore, the universe, and go bigger, but not too crazy. Like I think it did the right amount of pushing the envelope, getting the storyline to go bigger, and the characters I thought in this one were also very interesting and unique to bond with as well. I mean, the problem I think in the first game is you don't really have too many characters because, spoiler alert, obviously spoilers. We're dealing with this post-apocalypse setting with nothing but robots, so there's not really too many people that you can have in this dystopia world that has happened. So by its very nature of the story, the first game was very kind of self-contained. You only really had your own character and the Elohim character.
Right.
And I mean, I guess to a degree, you also had the computer library dude. Milton.
Yeah.
But even then, that was kind of like off to the side because you had to go find him in the computer.
And you didn't have to engage with it in the first game, if I remember correctly.
Right. So I think that was a bold undertaking to go from literally like 2 characters to, in the sequel, you have this whole city now.
Yeah.
Because now that the robots have succeeded in being human-like, they are now able to multiply and carve their own civilization now.
Yeah.
I thought that was I thought that was a good, like, natural increase. Like, okay.
Like next step, yeah.
Right, yeah. This is the next level.
Yeah, I like to liken it to Portal, where the first game, they're like, we have this cool idea. Let's see what we can do with it. There's a story there, certainly, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, the story's...
It's just escape.
Yeah.
The first, the first
Portal,
Talos
both
Principle
Portal,
and the first Portal.
It's both like...
It's just escape.
Get away from the mean AI.
Yeah.
You know, basically. And there's like a larger lore there, but it's not really fully fleshed out or nailed down. And then the second game with both of them, I think the most obvious addition with both, as you pointed out, is the introduction of multiple characters. In Portal 2, you have Cave Johnson, you have the Secretary, you have the different, you have Wheatley, you have GLaDOS. And in Talos Principle 2, the best moment for me is where, you know, opening moments of the game, it starts up, you're like, okay, this is literally the same exact game, okay. And then all of a sudden, your character wakes up, and you're greeted by another robot. You're like, oh. And then you go into this, you know, this hub world where there's all this stuff to explore and characters to talk to. And I really loved how they broadened it in a meaningful way, where all these things kind of contributed to that central theme of you're playing as a robot who they all call themselves human, and then the question is, what makes humans human? What is humanity? It's like a huge, big brain question, right?
Big brain question.
Yeah.
Look at the big brains on Brad.
Exactly. And I don't know that, I mean, obviously, I don't think it's supposed to give you a solid answer, you know? That's kind of the gimmick of the game, is that you're supposed to kind of form your own opinion and answer. And I really like that because it felt like there were so many different choices that you could make. And I don't know how they affected things, but like my final mission was different from your final mission in who tagged along with me. And I assume that's because of the different dialogue choices that I had made throughout the game that I didn't realize I was making. And I think that made it more fun for me. When you have a game that's like Mass Effect, where you can see how your responses are going to impact something, I find myself fretting over it more. But this, I felt more free with choosing whatever I wanted to. And then at the end, I was like, okay, cool. This is just how it's going to be for me. Yeah. You know, I felt like it was a little bit more authentic. So I don't...
It didn't hit you over the head with like... you know,
do you find yourself...
Mike will remember this or something.
Right. Do you find yourself in games like that? Do you find yourself trending in a direction, trying to get a answer, trying to role play a certain way? Because
to a degree,
I find that I do. Like whenever I played Mass Effect, I mostly played Paragon, and I knew that I am always just aligned that way in video games. But like even in like role playing games, like I'll try to skew in a direction because that's what I want to do. In this, it was just I didn't know how these responses would play out, so it was just me.
Yeah, and
so I didn't mind that those systems were hidden, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I it's funny you mentioned that too, because I'm kind of doing that too with my single player mode of Baldur's Gate 3. Like there are certain things I want to do.
Do you find yourself fretting over choices more?
Right, and sometimes when sometimes when I remember that there's, you know, like an event that's going to happen that's going to shift the story a little bit, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta think about it. Wait a minute. How does that affect Karlak? How does it affect this person?
You know what it is you're so focused on the gamification of it that you're not in the moment.
Yeah.
Whereas with Talos Principle 2, like it kind of, which is weird to say because it's not a very polished game at points, but it removes a lot of the gamification of it, and you're just responding with how you would naturally respond. I feel like it did a good job of covering all the bases. Like every dialogue bit, there was like 8 or 10 options for some of them. I'm like, that's a lot of options.
Yeah.
But it ran the whole gamut. Like you could be like goofy, you could be serious, you could be environmentalist, you could be futurist.
Yeah, they really had a selection of choices.
Yeah, and I have a very cursory knowledge of actual philosophy schools of philosophy. I imagine somebody who has dedicated more time would appreciate it even further. But I did like the things that I did pick up on. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They really made a good effort to engage with that.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, it was like, it almost didn't feel like that was part of the game. It just felt like it was like you were taking a personality test.
Yeah, it did. And I'm still sad that Yakut didn't come with me, but
yeah, I don't know what you did.
I don't know what I did. I thought I was being supportive. He was always like, thanks, that really helped. Thanks. That made me see it differently. But then at the end, he's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, all right, you jerk.
Yeah, for me it was Alcatraz. I didn't bond with Alcatraz.
No, Alcatraz and I never saw eye to eye. I guess this is another positive of the game is you mentioned the characters, like your little companions. It was so cool and refreshing to go through the puzzle with other characters.
Yeah.
Portal, you're like, I guess you have Wheatley and GLaDOS always chirping in your ear, so it's not that different, but it's kind of fun that there were like other people doing things.
And also, like, they were monitoring you, and, like, when you completed a hard puzzle, they'd be like, oh, good solve on that one. I saw that.
Yeah, there was, like, a whole little, like, social element to it, too, where you could, like, you had, like, the app on your person, and you could, like, see the discussions from the people back in the city and stuff like that. So they really did a good job of fleshing out the world. So my version of the game was a little buggy. And that doesn't seem to have been a problem with a lot of people, but my game crashed like multiple times. I don't know if that's the disc version or
maybe it's a disc version, or
it might be the disc version, or it might be related to the fact that I was like fiddling with like the display settings. But in general, the game is, I think, not as polished as it could have been. But I also think that that's not, I'm torn because puzzle games require a little bit more polish. But I feel like this is one of those puzzle games where you're mostly playing it for the narrative as opposed to the puzzles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even though it is a puzzle game, the puzzles aren't what drive you. I think what suck you into the game.
They're almost secondary.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the story.
Yeah, it's the story. Like the puzzles don't they don't matter at all. Like, it's just the game mechanic to further the narrative, right? Like in Portal, the puzzles were part of the traversal, part of making your way through the facility, part of like, escaping or what have you. This is just like you go into an area, connect these lasers, you did it, here's a bit of dialogue. It was very rudimentary in that way, in the fact that it was kind of like gatekeeping the story. But I didn't mind because I was legitimately curious about what happened to the characters, what this giant, crazy mega structure is. So I didn't mind.
Yeah,
that aspect of it. Overall, I really enjoyed it, except for the golden door puzzles.
They can be a little difficult. Yeah.
Oh man, at that point, I also think that I was also just fatigued by that point in the game. I think that the perfect length for a puzzle game is like in that 15 to 20 hour range. I was like double that. There was a lot. There was too much to engage.
Well, I like the fact that they kind of had like that breakdown of like the 4 directions, and then each direction had 3 levels.
Right.
And each of those levels had 8 puzzles. Like I liked it. It seemed like that was like a very nice, meticulous way of knowing like how far you're at in the game, where where should you stop for a day, where should you pick up.
It was easy to segment it like that. That's true.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was cool.
You didn't feel like it was just like too much content at any point?
No. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game. I really liked the character. I really thought this was a great expansion to the franchise.
Well, you'll be happy to know they just announced an actual expansion to the Talos Principle 2.
Okay, so there you go.
Road to Elysium. So you get even more puzzles if you so choose.
Yeah. But I know that there was an interview with the game creator behind Crowbot. I forget the name of the
I think
company.
it's
Crow
Team.
Crow Team. Crowbot's a band. Sorry, Crowbot is a band. Crow Team is the video game the video game studio behind this, and they said that they have plans for Talos Principle 3, and I think
it's space.
Yeah,
it's aliens.
I mean, they definitely hinted at this in some aspects. With the stars and all putting all the stars together.
Did you put all the stars together?
Yep.
And you got the clip?
Yep.
Yeah.
You get the clip of them of seeing outer space, and there's a couple references to
and they said
robots. Can they colonize space? What would they do with it?
Yeah, it's almost like a like a Chekhov's gun kind of thing. Like they mentioned several times throughout the game, like, oh, well, we're going to stop at Earth. Are we going to stop at Earth? Are we going to colonize Mars and the moon and destroy all the planets? And like there were several mentions throughout the game of like, should we go to other worlds?
Right.
Kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, well, do you want to talk about where you think it could go? I think
that would be the logical step. Yeah.
I think it's going to be revealed that like humans escaped on an ark to Mars or something, or like there was a site B. Backup plan, robots on the moon. I don't know, some kind of like, because that vision was like they're out there.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty explicit. Or do you think it's more they're out there in an abstract sense? Like who's out where?
I don't. It would definitely have to be robots again.
You think it's robots?
It can't be humans. No.
Why not?
No, because the whole thing of this is the humans are dead.
Wouldn't that be a great philosophical quandary though? If you are a human but you're a robot, and then you meet an actual human
who happens to survive.
Are you still then human, or does their humanity supersede yours? Whoa.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you broke my brain now.
Crow Team?
There you go.
Do you need writers? I can
There's your third game right there.
Yeah, I mean, because the whole game they're like, humanity, humans, I'm a human. But if they meet an actual human, right? Who's the human?
Yeah. Will the real human stand up?
That right? Well, the real. So Eminem makes a guest appearance.
Yeah,
I like it.
He survived somehow in Detroit. Somehow, he was fine.
Oh my God,
yep.
That'd be the one place. Detroit's already post-apocalyptic, so they're used to it.
Yeah, right. They're good. They're good for thousands of eons of years. They're gonna be fine. But yeah, anyway, that'll be the future.
That is.
But I think we're both on the same page that it was a great game.
Oh yeah, I definitely think whatever small quandaries I have with the game aside, technical and length of it, I think it's still, if you like puzzle games. If you like
a good story,
if you like dabbling in philosophy and like thought experiments, like go check this game out. It is a solid, I'd say like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Maybe even higher, but like 8.5 out of 10. Yep. Really, really good stuff.
I enjoyed my time with it. All right, let's get to the last part of the show, something you will definitely enjoy your time with. Folks, it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird, wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen, you guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
This one, we're going to Texas.
Oh, wow. All right, the Lone Star State.
Yeah, stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
What he said.
Yeah.
All right, so everything's bigger in Texas, so is the odd news going to be bigger?
It's going to be something.
Oh, boy. All right.
We're going to talk about the case of 60-year-old Mitchell Vest.
Okay. Vest? Like
Vest.
Like clothing?
Yep, Mr. Vest. Yep.
Mr. Vest.
Mitchell Vest. That's his
Okay.
name. And this is true. He pleaded guilty to this crime. A kilt-wearing Texas man pleaded guilty to taking merchandise from various antique stores and shoving them up his butt, according to cops.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
I know some women who could hide a machine gun in there.
Yep, shoving it right up the butt.
So the kilt is for easy access.
Yes, exactly.
Take your damn clothes off.
Because you done goofed.
You done goofed.
Yep.
You know what's funny? Side note, I was searching for...
Whoa, what are you searching for?
I was searching for, hold on, shorts on Amazon because I need new shorts. For some reason, Amazon is giving me results for kilts.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
But I thought that was odd. I don't know why kilts would show up under shorts, but you can buy like a utility kilt. It has like pockets and like clips and things. And
So you want to be Scottish now?
no, I just thought it was interesting. That
Well,
you could-
Amazon thinks you should be Scottish.
Apparently, I'm like like men's shorts. It's like, here's a kilt. I'm like, nope. Like, shorts, please.
Try again.
It's like cargo shorts and cargo kilts. It was wild. Anyway, so was this guy wearing one of those kilts or like a traditional kilt? What's going on here? It was mostly just to hide butt things.
Right. It was just a way for him to conceal what was going up his buttocks.
Yeah.
I know some women who could hide a machine gun in there.
Right up the booty hole.
Yep. And I know you're a visual guy, Mike, so
Oh, no. Okay.
we've got a visual of the perp here. That is the official still taken from the police report. He's going.
Wow, that's an action shot right
Yep,
there.
he's going right to town, right to Pound Town.
I thought there was going to be a mug shot, but this is like an actual shot of the guy.
Yeah, it's an actual shot of the video camera footage.
Yeah,
So-
man, he's trying to get up there.
He's trying to get up in there.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Let's get to bashing butts as well as D's nuts.
I also was not expecting. Throw that picture back up there. Let me see.
Uh-oh, Mike wants to study
He
it.
doesn't strike me as the kilt wearing type. Like he's just wearing like a sleeveless shirt. He's like balding, kind of like he seems like a little bit like more robust, right?
What? So what? Robust guys can't wear kilts?
No, I mean I guess they can. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting him.
Well, you've not met Mitchell Vest.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Yes, he was caught and he copped to criminal mischief in connection with these vile incidents earlier this year in shops around Houston. So sorry, Houston. This is what you're known for now. This guy is putting things up his butt.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
So he would put something up his butt.
Yes.
And then
he would enjoy himself.
And then would he return said thing? Or would
Yes.
he? Oh, no.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
So he wasn't stealing it.
No.
He wasn't taking it with him or buying it. He
No.
was just using it and then putting it back.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
I feel really bad for people who unknowingly bought that.
Yeah, folks. If you're in the
you better disinfect everything.
If you're in the Houston area and you visited an antique shop, you need to listen here. So, according to police, Vest visited Restoration Hardware in Houston and placed a makeup brush up in his anus, enjoyed himself, and then placed it back on the shelf for display.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That is so wrong because a makeup brush, it's going near your face.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's not cool.
Because you suck Hulk Hogan and you suck Hulk Hogan ass.
Oh, you getting some sort of Hogan ass?
Something.
Some sort of Hulk ass.
Oh man, Hulk ass.
The second business that's listed in the police report is the Curiosity Shop.
Oh no. He's curious about something.
You're gonna be okay. Say the goddamn words. You're gonna be okay. Oh God! Say the goddamn words.
Oh man! All right. So, what did his curiosity lead to?
In that shop, he went and took an antique bottle opener up there, which sounds dangerous.
Ew.
You're really risking some Russian roulette with your butt.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay. Say the goddamn words. You're gonna be okay. Oh God! Say the goddamn words.
I don't think you wanna scratch or scrape anything up there.
Yeah.
And furthermore, again, this is one of the worst objects to use. First, something that goes near a person's face, then something that goes on your bottle where you're gonna drink from.
Yeah.
He's picking the worst objects. You couldn't just use a broom handle. Had to be like things that go near your face.
Yep. And then he also went to another part of the Curiosity Shop and did the same thing with a tobacco tent can. I don't know what exactly that means.
I don't even know what that is.
Is it like the little circle thing that like baseball players use to hide the chewing tobacco in? Tobacco tent can. That's what it says in the police report.
I'm standing near your hole, and it's very dark.
I think it's just a can.
Well, he decided to try that up the ass as well.
All right, then.
I'm standing near your hole, and it's very dark.
Is that the POV of the can?
Yeah, I guess. In those three scenarios, each time he took those objects, put it under his green skirt kilt, enjoyed himself, and returned those items directly to the shelves where he found them.
That's awful.
Yeah.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So in all three of those instances, the merchandise were deemed to be too soiled.
Oh, God.
And had to be thrown away. Cops said that the stores lost a value of $204. They worked out the pricing on it.
Well, I'm really glad that they were thrown away.
Yeah.
And they didn't accidentally make it into, anybody's home.
Boy, what employee had to come across that? Like, you're just walking through your store and
oh, somebody left makeup on this makeup brush.
Something smells over here.
That's not makeup.
Nope.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 It's about to get all stupid up in here!
So gross.
Yes. So he was originally free on a $100 bond, but he pleaded guilty to this crime. It is officially criminal mischief. This is his first time offense, actually.
Wow.
So the DA has noted that if he successfully completes the probationary term, the misdemeanor conviction can be wiped. Just like his ass.
Nice.
Oh, good for you.
It sounds like he wasn't wiping that well if things were soiled. But also, this is absolutely not his first crime. It's just the first one he got caught for.
Yeah, I
you
think
you
so.
don't be 60 years old and start going
You
into
don't, you don't just wake up suddenly and like, oh, I
No.
want to do this.
you don't know. At 60, you're like, you know what? I've lived a good life. I'm going to start sticking hairbrushes up my butt
I'm gonna
in
antique
stores.
I'm gonna explore the world with my butt. I'm very curious about items up my anus. There you go.
He's going to explore the world with his butt.
Yeah.
It's like you begin life, babies explore the world by putting things in their mouths. And as you age, you explore things by putting them in your butt.
Yeah.
It's the circle of life.
Right, yeah, it's just a different hole.
Yeah. When you think about it, humans are just giant donuts.
Yeah.
No, think about it. Humans are donuts. It's
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
it's the same hole, Rich.
He's
think
gonna
about it.
he's gonna have an awkward meeting when he gets home because him and his wife own a home in the suburbs of Houston called Woodland. So that's where he went after he was freed.
She's like, "Where did you go? You've been gone for a while." Well, funny story. I went antiquing. And well, one thing led to another.
I totally didn't get the idea of antiquing.
Yeah. I thought it was something way
I
different.
thought it was something completely different.
And apparently you get arrested for it. So
I saw it in a porno and I thought like that's what you do.
because that's real life. Oh my God.
But yeah, according to the police, this is his first time. This is his first crime.
I
So
don't believe that for 1 second.
yeah, I think it's what you said. It's the first time he got caught.
You escalate to because there was thought behind it. Like he had a kilt.
Yes.
And he went into like antique shops where he figured, oh, there's less people, there's less security, you know. He planned it out. This is not his first rodeo.
They should find out, does he have Scottish heritage?
He absolutely does not.
And if he does not, I think it should, the punishment should be a little more severe.
I would roll the dice and say that he's not Scottish.
Because you're right, that does show like he thought about this. He
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, I need to have easy
access,
access
yep.
to my prison wallet. You know?
To my prison wallet.
It's very important.
Keep it nice and safe up there.
Right. So, I got to have some room to maneuver with that.
That's messed up.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
I just love the police actually have a still from the video camera. Like
Yeah, he's really going for it.
yeah, like he's in there. Boy, if
he does not strike me as the kilt wearing type. Or Scottish.
If you don't have the video podcast feed up, that you're missing out on some quality images here.
It's like like an isometric top-down view.
Yeah.
He's got his back to the camera. He's got a hand up his kilt.
Yep, up the kilt. So he's ready to go with whatever object that store was.
Oh my God.
Boy, those they don't really sound like fun objects either, because
what would be a fun object?
I
at
don't
an
know.
antique store.
I don't know, but something that I don't know.
So it was
a makeup brush, an antique bottle opener. That sounds horrible.
The bottle opener sounds terrible, and the
and
can,
then the tobacco tent can doesn't sound.
I looked it up. It was just a can, and a lot of them were like not butthole shaped.
Yes.
So I don't know how he Tetrised that in there. The only one why are we even would be the makeup brush.
Yeah, maybe the makeup brush,
but like not one of those thin, pointy ones. Like they have ones that have like the bigger handles. I'm just saying. If you had to pick, you're the one that brought it up.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
But also, what kind of? Because there's different kinds of like brushes and like bristles and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he sticking it handle side?
I would imagine the handle side.
Or is he trying to go in with the brush?
No, the brush wanted
to tickle.
Oh, a little tickle action.
A little tickle.
Oh.
Well, earlier you said tickle the balls.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's what
he's
Negan
tickling
said.
everything down there.
That's right.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yeah, there
It's
you
actually
go.
a multifunctional tool.
Wow.
Flips it, brush side up, gives the ball a little tickle, flips it around, poop, right up there.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
All right. Well, you know what?
This conversation's getting weird.
Yeah, we're getting late at night. I think that means
I'm too tired.
Yeah, we're definitely venturing into unknown waters there. So I think we need to pull back and wrap up this episode. But there you go, the true story there from Texas.
Wild.
Yeah, that
disgusting and wild.
But yeah, like you said, he had some thought on that.
It's premeditated, 100%.
I need to wear a kilt.
Yeah,
there you go.
Premeditated.
All right, well, there you go. That is the quality content that you can expect in the non-Fortune Cookie Odd News and all of the Crispy Noodle podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all of our social handles and everything like that. But most importantly, the key thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. Two main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button, and you'll get the episode sent to you every week right to your YouTube account. Wherever you watch YouTube, on your phone, on your TV. You can watch us on TV. That always blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So TV, if you so choose. The second main way to do it is on Spotify. If you're on the go with Spotify, you can have the video podcast up on Spotify, but you can also put Spotify in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go and listen to us in your car when you're commuting all around the world, whether it's through various antique stores and trying various things. Whatever piques your curiosity on the go, make sure you take the Crispy Noodle podcast with you using those apps on your drive. Very well.
So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X and let us know what's happening. Any odd news stories, make sure it sends to me so Mike doesn't see it. And if we use your content, we'll give you a sausage shout out. So send your suggestions our way for future content. But for right now, we got to wrap this one up. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.